Hey guys, the Tunnel here, doing a non-spoiler review of Corpus Chrome Incorporated in 5 minutes, and I'll cut to the chase and say it was mediocre, and I give it like a 3 out of 5. And that's being nice, because realistically I'll never read it again, and this is kind of weird to say since I liked all three of his movies. And so I wanted to check out his book. First one I chose, sci-fi, and I like sci-fi, but he he put some kind of religious themes in there, and I didn't think they worked because I didn't believe them. Like they just sounded dumb and it didn't make sense. And he had uninteresting characters. There was only one character I liked in the whole book, and that was Alicia, and she was only in a quarter of the book. And you had all these other characters, this guy, Champ the Garbage Man, Eagle, a reanimated fireman. There are a lot of reanimated characters in the book. There's two lesbians. There's these two kids. There's RJ the Third who rents the room to Champ the Garbage Man. And just saying this sounds so dumb. It's like the names, Champ the Garbage Man, RJ the Third. It's like God, dumb names. And so it really falls flat on that because it's like if the book was actually about the one character I liked, Alicia, because she comes after Corpus Chrome, and she actually like does a monumental thing, whereas the other characters just fade that out. They just kind of take away the attention from that, and I don't know why. And there's filler stuff. There's like 20, 30 pages that will go on. Like, for example, one is these two children who are watching this movie on this moat aquarium, and it's a dumb movie. It's straight up dumb, and it's trying to be like weird, but it's really just dumb. And I'm just sitting there reading, thinking like, wow, I guess Craig Zahler needed to make this book bigger and fill it up. Need some filler, but it's like there's only so many little scenes in the book that were cool, and they don't outweigh the bad. The bad is way more prevalent. I mean, you go through a chapter just waiting until it gets interesting again because you're following around the garbage man and other people like, around him, where you really want to be in looking into the life of Alicia, who's like doing very big things, and she had really horrible things happen to her, which has provoked her to go after Corpus Chrome. So it's like, every time you're ripped away from that, it's so boring. So it's not a readable book. I want to say rewatchable like a movie, but yeah, you don't want to read it again. And so it falls flat on that. You don't want to read it again. It's uninteresting characters, dumb plot lines, dumb stuff. Like the religious stuff, I'll say it's about hell, and it's not your traditional sense of hell. It's a different sense of hell, but it sucks, and it's no Hellbound like Hellraiser 2 or Event Horizon, because those have the best hell ideas I've ever seen, and so that's about that. I wouldn't recommend it at all. And I think Craig Zahler has got a problem where he is better writing scripts than he is books, because maybe he's a more visual thinker, and that's why his movies are doing so well, because he doesn't have to tell you like he does in a book. He can show you in a movie and be doing a screenplay like it should be. So I think that's how I'll end this, is that I think Craig is a better screenwriter than he is a author. And I've only read one book, but I read a sample of Congregation of Jackals, and I was not impressed. It felt like a teenage, edgy, like super violence type thing. It just like it wasn't based in reality, and it just felt edgy and violent. You know, it just was not cool. And you know, to finally end this, because I know I'm going over what I said. Um, his movie, The Asylum Blackout. That was his first movie that was produced. He didn't direct it, but he wrote it. And that movie too is really nothing more than just your kind of popcorn horror movie, because you just kind of these characters go through all these traumatic events, and then at the end it's left unexplored. One character is just suffering from PTSD, and then we don't even see what happens outside of the hospital once he realizes that he's okay and he's in the hospital. We just see him freaking out in PTSD. And so it just reminds me of that. There's just a lot of stuff that I feel like it's not super interesting to begin with in Corpus Chrome. So leave it at that and stop dogging him. Alright, and I'll be making more videos on Craig Zahler soon. Thanks.